Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. As the internet becomes the new place to find one's partner, it's become evident that the process is fraught with risks. Here's one example. Des Gregor is a farmer from southern Australia who headed to Mali to meet a woman he'd made contact with online. But when he arrived in the West African country to meet his sweetheart, he was met instead by a gang of men. The love-struck Gregor said his captors demanded nearly $100,000 from his family. After intervention from Malian and Australian forces, his captors let him loose in hopes he would return with the ransom. Well, of course, he didn't. Now, here's what some of you thought of Mr. Gregor's ordeal. Joe from Ireland suggests having one's brain ready to go all the time. The internet is just like any place else you might go, so always bring your brains with you. Partho from India shows no sympathy for the love-struck farmer. Well deserved. It's like buying goods sight unseen from an unconfirmed source. Now, if you think you've seen it all, think again. Duct tape isn't just for sticking things together anymore, as one man's attempted robbery clearly shows. Casey Casey, now known as the Duct Tape Bandit, was arrested after attempting to rob a liquor store in the state of Kentucky here in the United States. Even though he was caught in the act, the 24-year-old denies the allegations and pleaded not guilty. Talk about a sticky situation. I wonder how painful it was for him to remove the duct tape for his mugshot. While Riz and the team were on the road, we posted weekly YouTube questions and requested your opinions. Here are a couple of video responses that we received when we asked if one day the world will look to the east rather than the west.
I like to imagine each country as a person. I visualize China to be like a giant Chinese man, sitting on a chair, just waiting for the old superpower's liberty flame, to just burn itself out. And then hopefully take its place.
I don't think China and India will ever rise to superpower status. Both of them are poor countries, and the rate of modernization in both countries will eventually bite them in the backside.
Lulu9979 from the United States thinks that the economies in the Far East are booming and have a future in the superpower arena. I agree that both China and India are becoming very prominent economies, but to say at this time that people will be looking to them rather than the West would be kind of a stretch. Manas Sheikh from India sees hope for Asia to rise, but as of now it is a little behind. China and India are rising powers, yes, but they are far, far behind almost every European country. Their strength lies in sheer numbers more than anything else. Science and technology have not done as well as is perceived. Most people recognize Johann Pachelbel's musical piece Canon when they hear it, although they might not be able to name it. One young man by the name of Jerry C. gave it an entirely new rendition. Have a listen. A new twist on the classics. That's it. Until next time, do keep sending in your questions and comments and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera. Some of the content has been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.